I can be like a little seminary teacher in your pocket, teaching you what things mean in just a few minutes. And then you are now armed with this story. This story can sit upon your heart, and you can go to the Lord and ask for personal meeting. Let me show you how I study the scriptures and bring you on this journey with me. I want to teach you the 1, 2, 3 method. So 1, you read through the story. 2, you seek understanding. And then 3, you seek revelation. Revelation about you and your family. Let me show you how this works. You could pause right here and just read Moses 1, 1 through 20. Now let me take you through these verses in just a few minutes. Then you'll understand them better and be ready to teach your family or to receive revelation for you in your own life. The way I'm using my scriptures and my guidebook is I'm taking notes in my scriptures, and then the revelation I receive goes in my guidebook. I know that if something's written down, it's something I want to remember for me or for my family. Okay, let me take you through a few verses. Starting in verse 1. It says, "The words of God, which he spake unto Moses at a time when Moses was caught up into an exceedingly high mountain." Mountains are often used to describe when people have an experience with God. They're often temple experiences. This is very fitting because in this experience, Moses will learn about the creation and he will learn about his own identity. Also, high mountains are places where there's less noise. We ascend higher. We seek more. In verse 3, the Lord gives himself 2 important names, Almighty and Endless. Most scholars believe that Moses had already had the burning bush experience. He'd already been told that he should go to Egypt to deliver Israel. That is a mighty task. Moses grew up in Egypt. He knew how powerful Pharaoh was, and he knew how mighty the army was. So this is the backdrop to this. Now God is saying, I am almighty. I am endless. Those are 2 things Egypt cannot say. So God tells Moses who he is. I am almighty and endless. And then he says, thou art my son. This is not a warm, fuzzy moment. This is a moment where Moses learned about who he is and what his potential was. 3 times God calls Moses my son. And then he shows him the world, the creations of the world. Look in verse 8. It says that he beheld the world and he greatly marveled and wondered. And then the presence of God leaves, and Moses said this, now for this cause, I know that man is nothing, which thing I never had supposed. Who is Pharaoh compared to God? Nothing. What can Egypt do against the Almighty? Nothing. Moses is being prepared for the mission before him. And then Satan comes, as he always seems to do during critical times. And he comes and teaches us something about how he seeks to deceive. First, he comes with no glory, and he says, Moses, son of man. He will always go after our divine identity. But Moses had just experienced the real thing, and his response was perfect. Verse 13, who art thou? For behold, I am a son of God. Isn't that how we want to respond when we are faced with temptation? And then he says, where is thy glory that I should worship thee? Moses could discern because of the experience he had had. We've gone over some really good things in these verses. Now I would invite you to go back into these verses and seek for revelation for you and your family. This is the part you are made for. You are endowed with this power to seek and receive revelation from the scriptures. As a mother in the last days, your children are likely in the same situation as Moses in Moses 1. This is one of the best places in all of Scripture to teach your children about divine identity. There are so many lessons in here that are applicable to us and our families right now, and you have everything it takes to find those in these verses. Here are some examples of some things you might find. You might ask, are my children or am I seeking high mountain experiences? Am I seeking moments in my life where I put noise away and I seek pure revelation? Or I might wonder, what do my children know and believe about God? When they picture him, who is he? Do they see him as almighty and endless? And if they do, how would that change their life? Or I might say, how is Satan attacking their divine identity? Or I might ask, do they know their divine identity? What does that mean to them to be a son or daughter of God? There's a lot more in these verses. We just did a few, but you will find so many treasures in here that could be applicable to you and your family. But that's the 1, 2, 3. 1, you read over the verses. 2, you seek understanding about the details so you understand what is happening. And 3, you go in and you find and seek revelation that you need in your life and for your family. It really is that simple. Give it a try and you will see how much the Lord can speak to you through these verses.